Welcome to today's biology tutorial. For today, I'll make you understand on how you can answer this type of questions in case you meet any in your quizzes, tests, as well as your exam. Before I start, just ensure that subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow our Facebook page so that you will be updated and notified whenever any video is posted. For now, let's start. So let's start with the first one. And if you remember, in my second video, I explained about the fluid mosaic model, why is it important, and everything. So if you haven't watched my video better, you WhatsApp me via my WhatsApp number down there, and I'll be able to share. Now, let's do this. What's the question saying? Why is the cell membrane described as a fluid mosaic? I'm sure I explained why the cell membrane is described as a fluid mosaic. Its flexibility. What makes the cell membrane to be what? Flexible and everything like that. So let me show you something here. So to start with, the cell membrane is made up of what? Phospholipid bilayer. As you can see, there's a layer here on top as well as down here. You get? Yes. Now, not only that, inside the phospholipid bilayer, there are proteins embedded in it. There are proteins embedded in it. As you can see, we have the integral protein here. We also have the peripheral membrane protein here. You get? These are the proteins that are embedded inside the phospholipid bilayer. You get? And they are scattered. You get? Yes. So we have the lipids, like the glycolipids here, as you can see, and then we also have the glycoprotein. You get that somewhere there. So now they are scattered within the phospholipid bilayer. You get? And these are the things that brings about what? Flexibility. They move sideways within the what? Phospholipid bilayer. So now, when you're explaining this, try to talk about what? How it moves sideways, because it's called the fluid mosaic model. It's because of the what? The phospholipid and the proteins are able to move what? Sideways. You get? Making it to be what? Flexible. You get? Yes. So now, talk about that. Not only that, talk about the phospholipid and the phospholipid bilayer. Not only that, you talk about the proteins, the lipids and the carbohydrates. They are capable of what? Moving sideways. Not so. So you're supposed to spice that answer. You write it in words, making it what makes it to be flexible, what makes it to move sideways. You get? It's because of the proteins that are scattered within the phospholipid bilayer. You get? Making it flexible to move sideways. So explain that. That's what I want to see in your explanation. Try to sit yourself down. If you're not clear on this, this is just a tutorial. So I'm not here to spoon feed you, but you need to watch the video so that you get the clear explanation from it and research about it. Think that's what I want. So when marking, I will be so sensitive that I want a clear data on it. You get? I want a clear data on it, whatever I've explained there, and then you also add your own. So that's it on the first part here. And then, yeah, so now let's look at question 10. What is it saying? What is the fluid mosaic model of membrane structure? They're asking you this. So they are just trying to talk about, they want you to talk about the structure of the fluid mosaic model. So its structure is here. So now on the structure, what are you supposed to talk about? Talk about what it's made up of. As you can see here, we have it's made up of the phospholipid bilayer, as you can see. Now, on the phospholipid bilayer, I'm sure you can see the tails. Where are they pointing? The tails are pointing where? You have seen the heads, those heads there. Where are they pointing? So talk about the hydrophilic as well as the hydrophobic. You get? Yes, the tails as well as the head. So here I'm not there to tell. So talk about it. It's made up of that. The tails, where do they point? Do they point outward? Do they point inwards? The hydrophobic, I don't know, the heads. I don't want to specify this or to talk about this because I taught you in the video. So talk about the heads as well as the tails. Where do they point? Which one is hydrophilic? Which one is hydrophobic? You get? Yes. Not only that, talk about the scattered proteins within. You get? We have the integral protein. So you can just say there are also proteins that are embedded inside the phospholipid bilayer. You get? Now, so when you talk about this, you also talk about, these are the same things that brings about flexibility of the fluid mosaic model and everything like that. So talk about that. That's what I want to see in your answers. I'm sure. And then you need to spice up your answers. You even research more and dig deeper about it. Let's go to, how does the fluid mosaic model allow for membrane transport? Don't forget this is a cell membrane. You know the cell membrane is selective permeable. It allows some molecules to go in and out, not so. Yes. Now, how is that transport facilitated? Because you know that small molecules as well as large molecules are capable of passing or crossing the cell membrane. You get in and out. Now, what facilitates that? So this same the fluid mosaic model or the cell membrane here, as you can see, there are small molecules that are capable. So here, when explaining, start with small molecules. Small molecules are capable of passing here, diffusing freely. Now, how do they move? By which process? Like, for example, oxygen. How does oxygen pass through this? You also talk about the process. You get? Yes, the process. Which process does oxygen crosses this cell membrane? Not only that, water also is capable of crossing or passing through the cell membrane. By which process? Those are small molecules, not so. Now, let's also look at the big molecules. How are those big molecules capable of passing? Because big molecules, they can't just pass through like the way oxygen passes through here. So then they require the the embedded proteins, the integral proteins, these bigger proteins, so that they can facilitate the transport of those bigger molecules, large molecules. So talk about how those small molecules cross this the fluid mosaic model or the cell membrane, and also talk about the big molecules. How are they transported with the help of the these proteins here, the integral proteins and everything, the glycoproteins and everything like that. So that's what I want to hear from you, or I want to see as you write your answers. So if you do that, then that's what I want. And then spice it up. I want you to research more about this. Then not only that, I want you to answer. This is your task. Why is the fluid mosaic model important? What makes this fluid mosaic model important? Not only that, explain what is meant by the terms hypertonic, hypotonic, and isotonic. So this is your task, and I want you to answer and submit them WhatsApp number down here. So those questions, I'm just from guiding you on how you can answer. But you need to answer those ones first, and then you answer this last, then I'll mark you. Thank you so much, and let me know if this video was helpful. And for those who are in need of serious tuitions for your natural sciences, it be chemistry, physics, biology, don't hesitate to WhatsApp me via this WhatsApp number down here, and I'll be able to share more videos with you and ensure that you catch up. Thank you so much, and let me know if this video was helpful in the comment section. Thank you.